I won't give too much away. I won't give too much away, but we'll do some save the dates towards the end of the program. But we're going to jump right in because we have a jam-packed event for you tonight. And today, let's just start off with it's a day of celebration, right? It's Public Lands Month, and I'm really excited that you can be here to join us.
Exactly. And now that you know Amy and I, we want to know who is out there. So if you could please drop in the chat your name, where you live, and your favorite place in Wisconsin. And you may also get a message from Heather if your Zoom name doesn't match the name you RSVP'd with. We just want to make sure we have everyone here so we can email you the sneak peek link to the dashboard that we're going to talk about later and some of the other links that we'll mention tonight. And we did ask your favorite special place in Wisconsin in the RSVP form. So here's the map of all the places that were mentioned. And this is a really good reminder of how lucky we are to live in Wisconsin, in a state with so many special places. And that's a great reminder, again, during Public Lands Month. And I've already seen some people in the chat talk about some cool places there that people have mentioned that they're going to go hiking there, they're going camping there. I mean, this is the right group to get out and take advantage of some of these spaces.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm seeing some state parks, some well-known state parks. Wyalusing, very cool.
Definitely.
There we
Blue
go.
Mounds, hey, that's close to Madison, so I spent a lot of time down in that one as well. Madeline Island. Oh, Madeline Island's beautiful. I haven't been up there in a long time.
We just got back, actually. Yeah,
Like you almost need to take notes. Everybody transcribe the chat down, look at the notes later, and then just plan that for next summer. So you already know where you need to go next time around.
exactly. Well, let's see. You know what? You don't have to take a road trip tonight because that's what we're essentially doing a little bit. So, glad we're going to see some of these places featured. And so here's what we've got in store for you today.
Definitely. We are going to tour some of Wisconsin's special places chosen by our volunteer leaders and learn how we're helping to protect them. And I think there may even be a secret cameo in one of these videos by my co-star, but we will see that later.
That will remain a mystery. And also, beyond the videos and the features, we're going to play a little trivia. So if you're competitive like me, or you just want to see how smart you are, make sure you're getting your thinking caps on because it's going to be some pretty fun trivia.
Agreed. And as I mentioned earlier, we are going to be getting a sneak peek of the new Wisconsin Lands and Life dashboard that we are releasing in 2 weeks. And for those of you attending live tonight or donating to the Lands Team campaign, you will get early access to that dashboard. So I'm really excited to see it and learn more about how it will be a tool for myself.
Yeah, and as always, we're going to be checking in on how we're doing with our fundraising goals. So throughout the year, we have our biggest goal yet, actually, and so it's going to be we're hoping to raise $20,000. So we have a big push tonight. We're going to be circling back to that a couple times. So please don't forget to donate.
Yes, that is a big goal, and you are here to help us hit it. It's more important this year than it's probably been in a long time. So off we go.
Yep. It is a big goal. And certainly we want to take a time to thank our very generous sponsors and the donors who are donating to support our teams. So we've already raised almost getting close to $18,000. That means we've got to raise a little bit more than 2,000 tonight. That's our hope. And let's take a moment here. We've got a slide in front of you. Let's thank our sponsors for making this evening possible and also helping support with all of our work that we do. This year, we offered sponsors the ability to sort of pick a team and help springboard their campaigns. And almost every one of our teams had at least one sponsor. So thank you to all of those folks that help enable our work and protect Wisconsin's lands, water, wildlife, and climate. Um, Many of these sponsors are worth noting. They've been with us from the beginning, going back to when Liz Wessel and Carol Terrell helped get things rolling. So we want to be appreciative of certainly the longtime sponsors and certainly the new as well. These certainly help continue all of our work that we need right now more than ever. So thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you to everyone.
And I have to mention too, as sad as it is to bring it up, this is the first time we've done this without our beloved friend Liz. Liz was a good friend of mine, and we definitely miss her presence in Sierra Club and in the world in general. And her and Carol putting this together was a fantastic thing to give to the Sierra Club because she wasn't afraid to ask people for money, which is a gift a lot of us don't have. I'm not very good at that. So wish I'd learned more about that when it happened. And this is such a great event. And it's actually the 14th year that we have done this. So thank you to Carol, who was around back when I was a chair back in the day, and also to Liz. And if Bill's out there, thank you to Bill too.
All right. Oh, thank you. A beautiful tribute. Um, and, before we begin, especially as we're going to be talking about the special lands in Wisconsin, the Sierra Club Wisconsin chapter has the privilege and responsibility to acknowledge the Indigenous people who have called this land home for generations. This acknowledgement demonstrates our strong commitment to collaborate and partner with the sovereign tribal nations located in Wisconsin. There are now 12 tribal nations that call this land home, 11 of which are federally recognized. No matter where you are in our state, you are on the ancestral land of a tribal nation. I'm currently joining you from the land of the Potawatomi in southeastern Wisconsin. The Sierra Club of Wisconsin reminds each of us to take the opportunity to learn about and appreciate the history of the land we are on and the great historical, present, and future contributions of Indigenous people. We'll put a link in the chat so you can learn more about the land and the places where you're from and how that relates. So with that acknowledgement, let's take our tour around Wisconsin. And that might start with, I'm going to ask you to all turn up the volume. Some videos might be a little quieter than others from our teams, and we did our best effort to make it loud, but just in case, make sure that you know where your volume is in case you need to turn that up. We want you to be able to hear and enjoy everything we put together for you tonight. So first up, we are going to be in Valley Park in Milwaukee. That's not too far from me, but I don't know much about it. So let's check it out.
Valley Park is a Milwaukee County park in the Pigsville neighborhood on the near north side or near west side of Milwaukee, depending on who you ask. It holds a very special place in my heart. Pigsville has transitioned from a German and Irish immigrant neighborhood to one of the most diverse and racially integrated neighborhoods in the state, with a significant number of Black, White, Latina, and Asian residents. A neighborhood bar, the Valley Inn, is the anchor business. The owners are brothers who were born upstairs. The neighborhood used to flood regularly due to the nearby Menominee River, and the city's original solution was to demolish the entire neighborhood. The neighborhood stood up for itself, and instead, the city invested millions of dollars in the 1990s to create a levee and a flood wall. The neighborhood side of this levee and wall is what we see today as Valley Park. The western side of the park by the river is a wall, and the only street alongside at North 42nd Street is a dead end on one side. No one drives on it just to pass through. Within, a playground and a field where the neighborhood has kickball games sits to one side, while a memorial to the neighborhood's World War II veterans occupy the other side. The park has become a favorite place for many families with young children who want to get away from more prominent parks that have larger crowds and are closer to busy and sometimes dangerous streets. Look south and you can see the American Family Field, or Miller Park for the locals, and look north and you can see the Miller Brewery. The neighborhood bar is still a retirement party hotspot for Miller workers. Looking over the wall, and you see the river and maybe a hint of the secret graffiti art scene along the riverbank. One of my proudest accomplishments is that I helped found Friends of Valley Park, a group of local residents who volunteer to keep the park clean and cultivate local plants over invasive species. My motivation for being involved was to build bridges in such an integrated neighborhood. There is undoubtedly racial and generational tension, with the older homeowners being whiter than the younger folks who are more likely to be renters. But I think it's harder to be prejudiced against someone when they volunteer alongside you to keep the park going. During the pandemic, Friends of Valley Park started a neighborhood rummage sale so people could make a little extra money. We did garden tours of the neighborhood. We even distributed donated groceries and supplies through the pandemic and beyond. And we had a little campaign to get the city and county to get our park's water fountain working again. Getting to know your neighbors and being in community with each other does more for the community's safety than relying solely on a government agency like law enforcement. This park was, for me, a glimpse into what a community could look like in a racially integrated, majority working class neighborhood, what we could do for each other regardless of whether the government or major businesses were involved. Friends of Valley Park is part of the coalition alongside Sierra Club Wisconsin against the proposed I-94 expansion. The proposed expansion would hurt those that live by the park, with increased air pollution, for example, and by demolishing local businesses. It would also hurt the river and the park directly. It would increase highway runoff into the river, and the proposed interchange with Wisconsin 175, itself a highway that should be downgraded to a boulevard and currently only serves as a form of racial segregation, would be taller and closer to Valley Park. Its looming shadow would negatively affect the welcoming atmosphere of Valley Park, which would hurt the community and safety efforts we've built in the neighborhood. Sierra Club Wisconsin has consistently sought the voices of local residents on this issue and recognized the racial and socioeconomic inequities of this proposed highway expansion while providing consistency to our organizing against I-94 in ways that a volunteer-only organization can't sustain. I'm proud to be part of Sierra Club Wisconsin because it has the strength of a major organization with lots of donors and paid expert staff, but it also understands how to center those most affected by environmental injustice. I'm proud of Sierra Club Wisconsin's work to fight against the I-94 expansion to protect Valley Park. Behind so many urban green spaces like Valley Park are unseen community efforts to build connections, support each other, and promote joy. Those are the things Sierra Club Wisconsin is fighting for.
Such a great video. And it really reminds people that even if you live in an urban setting like Leland and I both do, that there is a lot to see in your area. We have a lot of beautiful urban spaces in Madison. Granted, we're kind of spoiled. And I also like the fact that they pointed out our expert staff, who shout out to the staff. Woo! We do have some fantastic leaders here in our state. Just got to go off script a minute and tell them that. So thank you guys. Amy, though, why don't we jump into our first trivia question? Let's get the audience, get your thinking caps on. Let's see what she's got for us.
Yeah, let's do it. So the first question is going to relate to Valley Park, which we just saw. So a couple quick things to set the stage for the trivia tonight. We're going to be using the polling feature in Zoom. If you're not familiar, it should just pop up on the screen. If not, let us know. You might have to click the little button with three dots to get it to pop up on your screen, but hopefully it works. And you'll just answer your question and it will be tabulated as total, and that's all that we see. So if you're shy, please don't worry, jump in, guess. No one knows how you answered, so we just get to see the group totals and sort of see where the group kind of decided to jump in. So with that, let's jump in. In Milwaukee, the first question here, what percentage of residents can walk to a park in 10 minutes? And so your choices there. Let's see, people are jumping in.
I'll be interested to see the answer because I don't know it either. I know how many
Yeah,
parks are close to my house, but I don't live in Milwaukee.
yeah. I think I'm gonna go with I think it's gonna be on the higher end, but we'll let's see where everybody goes.
Well, and also during COVID, especially, we got a good reminder about how important it is to be able to get outside and be outside, especially if you can do it in a space where you can still see your community, but kind of wave at them from across the green space versus standing next to each other on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We all need we all need that green in our lives.
Looks like
Um,
voting is slowing down a little bit. Is it time to see how we did?
yeah, I think why don't we end the poll and let's see. I can reveal the big answer here. Da, 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 da. The answer is 91%.
Wow.
So that's a real success story for Wisconsin. In fact, Milwaukee's ranked among the top nationwide places for walkable park access.
Now that's impressive.
Yeah, way to go, Milwaukee. Good job.
And
So
22% of people knew that answer.
yeah,
Good
I
for them.
think it was we were close. Looks like majority went with 83, which I think is still a pretty impressive number, but we're even better. All right. Well, let's see here. Before we go to our next stop on our little tour today, um, way on the other side of the state. Let's check in on how we're doing with that fundraising, like we talked about a little bit.
Yeah,
Lucinda, have you checked out how we're doing?
I'm going to go and look. We're at $17,937.99. So somebody needs to give us a number plus a penny just to make that a round number. But we're doing pretty good. We're sneaking up on that $20,000. So if you have not yet donated, please do. And
Yeah.
also, we are going to move on to our next tour stop. So we have another quick video for you for Beaver Hollow, which is up near Bayfield, so way up north.
I'm not getting any videos. We're today at Beaver Hollow, the Friends of the North Pikes Creek Wetlands Outdoor Education and Recreation Area. It's located in far northern Wisconsin, just 4 miles from Lake Superior. The Friends protect, manage, and use the facility for educational purposes. People of all ages and physical abilities can come out here and enjoy our programming because this is an ADA compliant site. We're open 24 hours every day and we're free. The admission is free.
Kathy, what do you do here at Beaver Hollow? And Cynthia, as a visitor, what do you do when you come here?
Well, the Friends of the North Pikes Creek Wetlands provide educational programs in our pavilion.
So as a visitor, I come here either to go to attend a presentation at the pavilion or to take a really fun walk down the boardwalk where you can sit on benches and see all sorts of birds and water creatures and frogs, and then you can take the Leopold Loop through the forest, and honestly you never ever know what you're going to see. It's crazy. From one day to the next, there's so many species here that you can read about. And how many do you think you have?
Well, Cynthia, people have reported that they've seen 150 different species of birds here, which is a lot of species. And in a lot of mammals, people have seen things like fishers and martins and
Wow.
even beaver and otters and black bears and wolves.
Wolves, wow.
Cynthia, what is your favorite memory of Beaver Hollow?
My favorite memory is bringing my mom here a few years ago. She's in her mid-80s, and we went out on the boardwalk and she read every single informational photo and sign explaining what happened, what type of species live here. We met Kathy and her husband Mark, who were at the time building the restroom, the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I love coming up here. It's a special place for me.
My special memory was releasing beaver in Beaver Hollow, beaver that had to be relocated. And it was really great because not only were we giving them a new home, but a new life.
Kathy and Cynthia, what is Sierra Club doing to protect Beaver Hollow?
The Friends of the North Pikes Creek Wetlands wouldn't have been able to acquire this property without funding from the Knowles Nelson program.
And we, in turn, as a Sierra Club Wisconsin chapter, are doing our very best to preserve this funding, which is absolutely vital to maintaining natural resources such as this amazing Beaver Hollow.
I think we should put you up for an Emmy for that, Amy. Very good. Very good performance there. That was great.
Oh, I hope it made people laugh. It's made us laugh. Shout out to my wildlife team. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Um, with that, I mean, that's a tough act to follow, but we're going to jump into more trivia here. So let's do that. So w- one of the favorite things, obviously, you saw the beaver. So thinking about wetlands, what percentage of Wisconsin species depend on wetlands for all or some of their life cycle? So that's the all or some of their life cycle. And so take a look at those percentages, 15, 33, 50, or 75.
Yeah, another good question. And I'm guessing it's a lot of them, just based on who we have here in the state for critters and birds
Yeah,
and fish
absolutely.
and frogs and everybody else and insects.
Yeah, I've read that wetlands are as biodiverse as a coral reef.
I believe it.
Hmm.
I saw a question in the chat. Maybe you can answer while we're waiting for this. Is Beaver Hollow a state park, or
It
what
is
type of an area is it?
It is a preserve. It's a, nonprofit, so it's truly a preserve, and it's open to the public. And you saw Kathy Wendling there. She was one of the founders that helped make sure that land was set aside. So there's a couple little walking trails. Anyone can go there. It's if you've ever been up on the uh, peninsula of Bayfield there. It's beautifully marked. There's great signs, and it's like I said, you never know what you might see there. Lots of wildlife.
Excellent. Good question, Bruce. Thanks. So how
Yeah.
did we do here on this one?
Yeah, I think it might be time. Let's see how people did. What was the answer? Do. It is, you guys all got it, 75%.
All right. Leave it
So
to Sierra Club people to know the answer to that, right?
exactly. No, I think there was no fool in this group on that. So good job, everyone. Um, Cool. I think I'm proud of the group. Great job. Moving forward, we're going to do a quick little sneak peek of a very cool tool, a dashboard that I'm excited about. I got um, asked to be a part of this project team a couple years ago. It's been in the making. And the tool highlights the importance of public lands, which we're celebrating tonight, and then also how individuals can be a part of making a really important difference in our state. So, and of course, I love the endangered species part of it. That was my aspect, but it's a super cool tool that highlights so many different aspects of our important ecosystems across Wisconsin. So, I hope everyone on the call appreciates this little sneak peek. And then also, just for everybody for being here tonight, you get special VIP early access to this dashboard sort of web-based tool to play around with starting next Monday. So thank you all for being here. I urge you all to check that out. And then it will be available to the broader public. Anyone can use it. So share within your networks far and wide, starting on September 24th. So, like I said, this dashboard, it's so cool. If you like playing around with maps and layers, I'll let Cassie tell us more about it.
The Sierra Club Wisconsin chapter is thrilled to launch our new dashboard and interactive map, Layers of Wisconsin Life and Landscapes. A powerful tool to explore Wisconsin's lands and waters through the lens of the Global 30 by 30 initiative, the ambitious goal to protect 30% of land and water by 2030. From forests and wetlands to prairies and culturally important sites, this tool lets you see diverse habitats across the state and understand their crucial roles in climate mitigation, biodiversity, and human well-being. And you can even discover what's thriving right in your own backyard. The first element of the dashboard is an interactive and easy-to-use website. Your text, videos, maps, and images, the dashboard makes it easy to explore, learn, and get inspired to protect Wisconsin's natural heritage for future generations. The second element of the map is more complex and detailed. It's an interactive GIS map. The map uses publicly available data from government agencies, nonprofits, and research institutions to pull together many layers that you could consider when identifying why a specific area in Wisconsin is unique, special, and worthy of conservation efforts. Here are a couple examples of how I've used the map. The first example is about my own backyard. I recently moved to Rock County after living in Dane County for 10 years. In my own yard, I've seen some bumblebees coming to the bee balm that I planted, and I was curious if I was in a high potential zone for the rusty patched bumblebee. Sure enough, there are several of those areas in Rock County very near me. So I'm able to plant more pollinator-friendly plants to support this important species. The second example is more focused on advocacy. There is explorative drilling for copper and gold in the Chequamegon National Forest in Taylor County. The Bend Copper Gold Deposit is 19 miles northwest of Medford, Wisconsin, near the North Fork Yellow River. By clicking through various layers, I can find what is at risk by this extractive industry. Some of the things that I found were the level of protection that the National Forest has, Gap 3, which means it's open to extraction, which is why a mine is able to be proposed for a national forest that's supposed to be protected. I was able to check out total forest carbon, which is high, wetlands, which are present with marsh, swamp, bog, or prairie, the presence of keystone species like trout and oak, proximity to important bird areas like the Perkinstown Important Bird Area, which provides habitat for numerous bird species like woodland birds, including golden-winged warbler and northern harrier, and various cultural sites, including ceded territory from the Treaty of 1837, spearing and netting locations, and wild rice locations. By knowing what's at risk, I'm better informed about the issues that I want to advocate about. With our wild places under threat, advocacy on policy as well as hyper-local action have become so important. The Layers of Wisconsin Life and Landscape dashboard can help everyday people, advocates, and policymakers in understanding how every corner of the state has unique and special places to protect and love.
I am really excited about that. This is a very cool tool. And as we are together tonight learning about all of these special places in Wisconsin, this gives you even more information about what's happening out there to both allow you to help protect it and also to drive some advocacy. So those of you who are here tonight and anyone who donates to the public lands team will get early access to this. So it comes out, if I remember correctly, on the 24th, but you will get access to this ahead of time. So please do donate tonight so that you can get access to this tool. And speaking of which, how are we doing with that, Amy?
Okay, so I just took a peek while that video was going, and we are at $18,002. At least the last time and 22 cents. So we're over the 18 mark. So that's exciting. And then further to that, to help boost and get everybody motivated and hopefully just giving a little bit more, we have a very generous donor that is going to match the next $250. So if we can, as a group, whether it's, small or large donations, once we'll have basically we raise 250, he kicks in the extra 250, and now we're at 500 more. So let's keep the trend going and keep donating as we continue on our tour. On that tour, let me jump back. So we've been to two places you may not have been familiar with. So now we're going to go to a place that probably everyone has heard of, little known as the Mississippi River. So let's watch and learn.
Kathy Allen. I'm the chair of the Cooley Region Group from La Crosse, and my special place is the Mississippi River. I grew up along the Mississippi River in a small town on the Minnesota side, and then I ended up living in La Crosse on the Wisconsin side of the river. And the Mississippi really is so important to all the towns along it. It's really just a part of the community. The opportunities it provides for recreation are important to both our physical and mental health. The habitat it provides for the wildlife is just amazing. All the fish and the ducks and the other birds. We see bald eagles almost every day. And the work that the Sierra Club's Wisconsin chapter has done through the water team to prevent pollution, especially from factory farms, from CAFOs, getting into the smaller streams that feed the Mississippi has really helped us here. The Sierra Club's national priority to protect public lands is also important to the Mississippi River because a lot of the land along the river here is part of the Upper Mississippi National Wildlife Refuge. And we also have a USGS Science Center where they do a lot of research on the river, on the fish, the mussels, the water quality, the climate impacts that are happening. And so locally we'll be fighting really hard to keep the local refuge and the Science Center fully staffed and funded in the current upcoming budget.
Another great video. I love that area. It's so beautiful up there. And also a shout out to Kathy, because I was a chair once back in the ancient times, and I know how much work that is. So thank you to Kathy and her team up there. And just a reminder that when you donate to Sierra Club, you're not only supporting our national work, we do a lot of lobbying, a lot of advocacy in DC, and the state work that we're talking about today, but it also supports those boots on the ground volunteers that are all over the state. And that's where most of the work gets done. That's where the rubber meets the road. So thank you to all of the volunteers that are out there working on our different teams and working to help protect these beautiful places. So on that note, and actually I have to put in a plug for the awards because I'm the awards chair. So if you have some fantastic volunteers in your group or your area or an outside group that's doing wonderful work, feel free to nominate them for a Wisconsin Sierra Club Award. Okay, end advertisement. Amy, give us our next trivia question.
Nothing like a shameless plug. No, the awards are wonderful. So next trivia question, we're going to stick with the water theme. This one's tough, okay? So everyone put on your thinking caps. The Mississippi River, which we just so beautifully saw, is so long, which in fact is 2,350 miles, that water entering at Lake Itasca in Minnesota takes how long in terms of days to reach the Gulf of Mexico? So we've got a couple choices: a month, 90 days, 6 months, 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Looks like people are debating. Oh, neck and neck. Now
That's
there's
an
no
interesting
Googling.
question.
Yes, I can't, there's no Googling these questions.
Well, and it's a good reminder that all of the water is connected, the drop at the top all the way through. And that's why pollution is such a big problem. It's not like if you dump it in one place, it stays there. That's not how water works.
No, I think we can go ahead and end it. Looks like voting's kind of wrapped up. Let's see the results. All right, so 42% of you got it correct. The answer is 90 days, so 3 months of travel from start to finish in the Mississippi River. So pretty cool. Thanks. Shout out to the water team for trying to keep that clean.
That sounds like a fun retirement cruise. I'd just like to sit on a boat and float down the Mississippi, occasionally stop to get a cocktail or a sandwich. That sounds perfect. Let's do it. All right, and let's continue our tour. Next, we are going to Gibraltar Rock State Natural Area, which is the closest of all of our tour stops to me. So let's check out that video.
Hi, my name is Ellen Sims. I'm the Executive Director of Healing Roots Collaborative and a volunteer with the Sierra Club Lands team. I'm speaking with you today from one of my favorite places, Gibraltar Rock. It is located in Lodi, Wisconsin, off of the Ice Age Trail. And I am sitting atop Gibraltar Rock with the beautiful juniper trees that remind me of bonsais, and turkey vultures that are flying at eye level, and there are some native wildflowers blooming right now, and it rests 1,234 feet above sea level, but it's a short but steep hike. It's a place where you can hike, trail run, bring your dog on a leash. I've even snowshoed up here before. It's open year round, but that it is steep and there are no handrails or guardrails. Just be careful because it can get quite slippery. On that note, I wanted to share with you a little story about how I found and got to know Gibraltar Rock. I moved to Wisconsin in May of 2020, and as most of you remember, not that long ago, times of lockdown with isolation and, some challenges, I would say, and I just needed some perspective. And I found Gibraltar Rock, and I came here, and it really helped my mental, emotional, and physical health to sit here and take in the views, look out across the Wisconsin River Valley, feel the breeze in my hair, and be with these beautiful old junipers. And yeah, it's like a breath of fresh air, So it is a really gorgeous viewpoint, and the landscape is really unique with these rocks sticking up out of the landscape, and getting to look down on the land and the tops of the trees. It's really beautiful and unique, and I hear some cranes behind me, actually. And sometimes you'll be graced with the presence of an eagle up here as well. It's in the corner of the driftless region, and it reminds me a lot of that region where the glaciers didn't drift, where there are hills and valleys and streams and these, rock faces. They're usually with a stream at the base, and it's just such a unique landscape, and really diverse flora and fauna. And I think it's so important that not only do we enjoy these spaces, but that we really care for them and love them. And one of the ways that I chose to do that was to volunteer with Sierra Club, because they really care, and they're really trying to protect our public lands at a policy level, which I think is imperative. And so I just encourage you to get out and notice what our public lands have to offer, and just also support local organizations and the Sierra Club who care about our public lands and really want to work hard to protect and care for them. So thank you for spending some time with me, and give you a little more perspective. Enjoy your day. Thank you.
Wow, that was beautifully said. I could feel that. What a beautiful view. Um, I just want to say that I'm so grateful that she was able to share that story, and it kind of connects back to our work and history of wanting to continue the Knowles Nelson Stewardship Funding. So thank you to the lands team for working on that. That's been a big topic this year, as many of you know. And thank you to Ellen, who's a member of that team, and grateful for the work and continuing to make that program both functional and well funded. Will, be definitely something that we watch and hope for in these coming months. So thank you to all of you doing that. Um, and now with that, a little more trivia. So let's see how you're doing. This is question number 4. So if you want to kind of keep track how you're doing for, pride points, no judgment. So Wisconsin has 687 natural areas. Fun fact. And they're managed through the main goal of conservation and scientific study. So how does Wisconsin rank for the number of natural areas? So these are natural areas, a little bit different than your state parks. So do you think we're first in the country, third, fifth, or 10th?
And I'll note too, while they're answering this, I want to thank all of our outings leaders that are out there, because one of the ways that we brought a lot of people into the Sierra Club and introduced them to all of the natural areas and state parks and county forests and all of the things that we have in the state is through our outings program. So shout out to anyone who leads hikes or paddles or any other kind of an event that'll get people out into nature. And I think voting slowed down a little, so drum roll.
Yeah, let's end the poll there. And okay, so da 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 da. There weren't a lot of you that were confident in this, 27%, but we are number 1. I mean, come on, Wisconsin. This is something we can be pretty proud of. So, I think that's pretty exciting. We'll take it. Especially, right? Something to be happy about. So, before we go to our last couple of tour stops, let's check in and see how we're doing. I think that match incentive might have helped us. Lucinda, do you have that?
I do. We're at $18,628.15. So we are definitely getting closer to that $20,000 goal. So keep up the good work, everybody.
Cool. Cool, cool.
Indeed. And so while we watch the last couple of videos and play some more trivia, and the next stop we will see in our video tour is Havenwoods Forest, which is in Milwaukee. So kind of looping back around to where we started. So let's see this video.
Hi, I'm Tracy Stetter, and I'm a member of Sierra Club Wisconsin's Executive Committee, and this is my special place. Sierra Club members do outings here, park cleanup, and environmental education. Like right now, it's raining. There's 237 acres of wetlands, grasslands, and forest. This is Wisconsin's only urban state forest. And what do I like to do when I come here? Let's go hiking. The reason I like coming here so much is because it's a unique urban oasis. And the first time I came here, I saw a coyote.
Cool, what a fun place. And Tracy, thank you for all that you do and for sharing that with us. I'd love to go there, but I'm going to bring an umbrella if I go with Tracy. But that aside, question number 5, it's trivia time again. Okay, so I'm a little bit of a tree nerd. I'm gonna share that. I am not sure about this answer, so let's start. It is, um, how tall is the largest known white pine tree in Wisconsin? So for
Uh,
my tree nerds, white pine, I think grow pretty fast.
And they grow really tall. I have four of them in my backyard, which
Yeah.
scares me. If it's going to get 600 feet tall, we need to move the house.
Just embrace it. I just build, tree house combined. I like that. All right. So it looks like voting's slowing down a little bit.
All right. So let's see. What's our answer, Amy?
All right. So it is, ooh, it's actually a minority here had this one. It's 150 feet. So we got the majority of people to bite on 200, but yeah, it's actually 150 feet, and it's in the Cathedral Pines Grove of the Shawamagan Nicolet Forest. Yet another place we are all very lucky to have here in Wisconsin. So if anyone's been there and seen this area of the forest, let us know in the chat. Cathedral Pines Grove. I don't think I've ever been there.
I haven't either. I have to go see my pine tree's big brother, apparently, if it's up that far.
Yeah.
And so, rolling along on our Wisconsin tour here, our last stop's a little different. Speaking of the Shawamagan Nicolet Forest, we're going back up north and we're going to visit Copper Falls State Park. I'll admit I have not been there yet, but I've heard this place is fabulous. So if you're unfamiliar, it's one of our most incredible parks, features stunning waterfalls, sandstone gorges, and old growth forest that make it a haven for wildlife and a favorite destination for hikers and nature enthusiasts. You can see from the pictures why.
Yeah, and this time around, instead of showing you the video like the others, we thought it'd be fun to show you a video that highlights one of the great efforts, and I mean great efforts, that the Tar Sands team did this year with a number of our partners. The team worked to smash the world record for the largest display of origami fish, and it was a rally call to shut down the Line 5 pipeline that directly threatens Copper Falls State Park. So check out this amazing video.
Today we are standing in the record-breaking world's largest collection of origami fish. Existing record was 18,303 fish, and today we have 86,262 fish here, breaking the record as a call on decision makers to shut down Line 5, the dirty oil pipeline that threatens the Great Lakes and is trespassing on tribal land. People from all 50 states sent in fish, as well as Puerto Rico, Washington, D.C., Canada, and Mexico. And then over the past month and a half, we've had hundreds of volunteers painstakingly pinning fish, designing the displays you see around us.
Today we're here introducing this art display to the public to explain to them not only the risk of the existing pipeline that is 73 years old and pumps a ton of oil through the heart of the Great Lakes. They're also trying to replace pieces of it, and it just shifts risk, creates more harm.
We are here advocating not only to get that pipeline shut down, but to halt their continuation in the Great Lakes. We want to stop fossil fuel infrastructure. We want to have a cleaner and a safer environment for all people.
People really took time and care in every fish they made. We're all coming together to beat Line 5, which alone, Line 5 and Enbridge, the billion-dollar corporation, is too big for one of us to take on, but collectively, we're bigger than them. There's notes from schools, from parents, from grandparents, from state senators, wishing us luck and joining our call to shut down Line 5.
I want for art to be more important. I want for the pieces that we play as individuals to have a much bigger piece in all of our movements. And this is a really, really good representation of what we can do with just a little recycled paper.
Yeah, so that's just an incredible display. I got to see it in person in July, and there'll be more opportunities to see photos of that display soon. So if you missed it, don't worry, stay tuned. More will be coming out in email. And also, one kind of cool thing is you could own a little piece of history if you'd like. So if you haven't donated yet, or would like to make another donation, no judgment. Everyone who donates to the Tar Sands team will get a string of origami fish. So that could incentivize a donation right there. It'll be mailed to you as an added thank you. So I think that's pretty cool. But it really was a testament to what people can do coming together. It's just such a bright spot. So if you get a chance to, please follow that campaign and all the beautiful imagery. The team killed themselves, and it was just an amazing. I think it was just such a great coming together of all our volunteers, partners, and staff. So kudos to everyone that was a part of it. All right. And with that, we're going to be moving right along here. I think we might be to our last trivia question. So we're going to think a little bit about Lake Superior because Lake Superior's freshwater would be very threatened by Line 5. So here it is. Since Lake Superior is so large that it can hold all of the other Great Lakes, how many extra Lake Eries? So it can hold all of the Great Lakes together, plus how many additional Lake Eries? I'm not super familiar with the surface area of Lake Erie. I don't know about you, Lucinda.
No, I'm not. It's an interesting question. I mean, I knew it was a beautiful lake. I didn't know it was this much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it just makes you even more thankful that we have people like the Tar Sands team, the Bad River Band, and all of the other groups across the Great Lakes that are working to try and protect it from Line 5.
Yeah,
Once you
absolutely.
mess it up, you can't have it back. Wish more
No.
people in legislature and business understood that problem. Once you break
I
it, you can't fix it.
I agree. I agree. It's a global uh jewel, right? That much fresh water in our right here in Wisconsin, and I think we're so lucky to have it. We need to protect it. So,
Exactly. So, how did we do here? I want to know the answer to this one too.
all right. So this one would have been a random guess for me. The 41% of you got it right, though. It would be three additional Lake Eries. So wow. I didn't know that, but good job if you did. So that was our sixth question. I guess let's see. I'm curious in the chat, how have you been doing on that trivia? If you want to throw in some bragging or some humble answers about how you did in the trivia, let us know. Be curious. And thanks for playing along with us this evening. It kind of makes it fun and breaks things up. So I would not have gotten the Lake Erie question, but
I won't admit how many I got right or wrong, but then I also cheat because I know the answers. So.
yeah, I know. We have a disadvantage, or we have the advantage,
We have an
right?
advantage.
Yeah.
Although it's more fun not to look at it and just guess.
All right. Well, at least it looks like everybody at least liked the questions, even if they didn't get them right. So
Something kind of fun to do.
yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. We got people. I might be alone on not being familiar with how big Lake Erie is. So good job, team. Cool. People know the water. They know the water answers. I'm impressed. So, oh, the last answer was three Lake Eries. I think is it Jeannie was looking for that one. So it was three Lake Eries. All right. Well, it's good to see everybody enjoying themselves in the chat. While we're seeing some of those conversations roll in, I guess, why don't we get our final total for the night. And while Lucinda pulls it up, I just want to take a moment and say thank you so much for attending and hanging in there with us and donating and for all that you do to protect our incredible, beautiful state. So, there's so much that goes on with all of our efforts that we saw showcased this evening. So it's just, personally, I have to say, being around such wonderful, bright spots of people is an inspiration for me. So thank you everyone for being here.
Definitely. And I'm excited because I just keep refreshing this page and the number keeps going up. We are at $19,102.40. So somebody just needs to write a check for a little under $900 and we'll get 20,000. So I know there's somebody out there that is going to pay that last little bit to get us where we need to go. But thank you for everybody who has donated. Many hands make light work. You know, whether it's volunteer or fundraising, every little bit helps. And we've got to pull together on this. And I also wanted to thank Sandy Martin, who put together these fabulous videos for us, and all the amazing leaders who put their time and effort into putting these together for us, because this has been really nice. And the updated map with the additions for tonight of all the places in Wisconsin that we find special. And again, if the lands aren't worth protecting, what is? You know, that's why we're all here, because we care about these beautiful green spaces. We want to keep them available selfishly for our own use, but for everybody else as well, and for future generations. Because again, someone quoted Joni Mitchell in there. You're right. You don't know what you've got until it's gone. So let's make sure that doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of protecting important places, we want to give a reminder of different ways you can take action for Public Lands Month. We've got a lot going on. This was one of the highlights this evening for the month, and we certainly have more. So there's events, actions, and outings that you can jump in on all month long. So you see there in front of you a little bit of a sneak peek of what's cooking, and we will send you all a link to RSVP to a page so you can get weekly emails for the rest of September. So still 2 more action-packed weeks left here with us, and we'll do our best collectively to help protect our public lands.
Indeed. And since they gave the mic to a wildlife team member and the awards person, we also have to point out that the awards program will be on November 6th, and I will be hosting that again. And I had dropped a link in the chat earlier, and if I still have it copied, I can drop it in there again in a minute, that if you have some people you would like to nominate, please do. Because a lot of the work that is done today is done by people that don't get a lot of fanfare for it. They just work quietly in the background to get things done. And that's why I like the awards program, because we get to pull these introverted people out and shine a light on them for a little bit and tell people what they're doing. And it does mean a lot to volunteers to have that happen. I know, because I've gotten an award and it really does help. Notice I'm still around 20 plus years later, so obviously it worked.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, the awards program, listen, is one of my favorites every year. I think since I've started, I joined and have been watching, I usually end up tearing up more than one time in that evening. It's just so special to see all of the good work and good deeds that go on here at the chapter. So definitely worth shouting that out. And then let's see here. I have to say that Wolf Awareness Week is coming up here next month. So please mark your calendars, October 19th through the 25th. We've got a lot of really cool opt-in kind of virtual fun ways to interact and learn about wolves. So some includes, like, we're going to have a wolf related playlist and coloring sheets, and we've got a really cool featured speaker lined up. So much more to come on this. So I'm sure someone's going to drop a link in the chat for you. There's it's going to be just a super cool week. And by registering, you get a daily email to jump in, and you get one of our stickers. So we have a 2025 sticker in the making, and those are highly coveted and very cool. And further, if you do donate to our wildlife team tonight, our special recognition is that you will get the commemorative Wolf Awareness Week stickers from previous years. So you can complete your collection by donating tonight to the wildlife team and registering for Wolf Awareness Week this year. So we'll follow up with all the links, and I hope you can join us for that.
So thank you, everybody, again for joining us. And look for an email from Elizabeth. She will have links to everything we have talked about today. You'll get the dashboard. You can find out some more information about the different events and things that are going on. And Cassie will send out, oh, I apologize. Cassie will send out the link with the early access to the Lands and Life dashboard. And I was noticing too that we are still raising money. I just got to give you another update. We're so close, people. $19,366. That's pretty good. Nice job.
That's great.
Indeed.
Cool. Well, there's always so much happening here at the chapter, and you just saw a snippet today as sort of a preview of upcoming things. Thank you again for supporting the chapter. Keep it coming. I'm glad we're getting really close to that goal, and we'll keep it open. So if you're motivated by what you saw here, you're able to share with any of your network to continue donating through Monday. That's what we're really trying to do. So if anyone is able to do that, please don't feel after this program is over that it's cut off. We really want to hit that goal of 20,000 this year. So we appreciate every donation that comes in. So with that, let's see, I'm sure we're going to have plenty of the links in the page for donating after and follow up as well. So we'll make sure that you have that easily for the future.
Indeed. So thanks, everybody. I hope to see you on November 6th, and we will see you for Wolf Awareness Week. And everybody go play outside for the rest of the fall, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.